Welcome to Shanti Peace Yoga. Today I'm going to take you through a 10-minute morning yoga practice. We will start slowly with some gentle stretches and then move into a more energizing sequence to finish. We will be staying in each pose for about 5 breaths, and instead of Shavasana, we will be finishing in mountain pose, standing up and ready to start our day. Let's begin on our mat, lying on our back. Start by bending your knees, and you can extend your arms out to the sides. Now drop your knees from side to side, creating a windshield wiper motion to stretch out the hips. Come back to center now and keep your left knee bent, but cross your right ankle over the left knee, coming into reclined pigeon pose. You can hold your left leg either at the shin or the thigh. Flex your right foot and draw your right knee away from you to further stretch out your hip and glute. Release the hold of your left leg, and this time cross your right knee over the left and grab hold of each foot, coming into reclined cow face pose. With your feet, you're drawing them down and away from each other, creating a deep stretch in the outer hip, glute, and IT band. Try to drop your shoulders if you can. Release the feet and now extend your left leg long to the ground and bring your right leg straight up, taking hold of your right leg to stretch out the hamstring. Don't worry if your right leg is bent here, as this is our first practice of the day and it's natural to feel quite tight. Feel free to roll your right ankle. Release the right leg, and we will repeat this sequence on the left, starting with reclined pigeon, crossing the left ankle over the right knee and drawing that left knee away from you, flexing deeply into the foot. Coming into reclined cow face pose, start to cross your left knee over the right, take hold of the feet, and draw them down and away from each other. You might find one side is more tight than the other, and remember to try and drop your shoulders down. Release the feet and extend your right leg down to the ground. Lift your left leg skyward and take hold of the left leg for a hamstring stretch. Again, feel free to roll out your ankle here. Release the left leg and bend both of your knees now, preparing for bridge pose. Feet are hip-width distance apart and heels are fairly close to the buttocks. Flip your hands so your palms are upright and engage your lower abdomen and pelvic floor. Press into your feet and raise your hips off the floor and hold for 5 breaths. Draw your inner thighs in to stop them from splaying apart, and keep holding your pelvic floor and abdomen engaged. Start to lower your hips down with control, vertebrae by vertebrae, still keeping the abdomen engaged. When you're flat to the ground, relax the pelvic floor and abdominal muscles, and we will do this one more time. Begin to engage your abdomen and pelvic floor again, press into your feet and raise your hips, maybe coming a little bit higher than before. and slowly lower down, relaxing the muscles only once you're flat to the floor. You can bring both your knees to your chest now and take a gentle rock side to side, massaging the lower back. From here, start to make your way up onto all fours. Hands come under the shoulders, knees under the hips. We'll take 5 rounds of cat-cow. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, and exhale, round the spine deeply, dropping your head. Repeat this sequence in your own time with your own breath. Find stillness now, and start to walk your hands in front of you, lowering your head to the floor, coming into puppy pose. Keep this pose active by spreading the fingers wide apart and pressing strongly into your palms, keeping your forearms and elbows lifted off the floor. You should feel a deep stretch into your shoulders and upper back. Start to lift your head off the floor and walk your hands closer to you. Curl your toes under and press up into downward dog. Tailbone is lifting skyward, head is heavy between the arms, and don't worry if your heels aren't touching the ground. You can even pedal out your feet to really warm up into the hamstrings if you're particularly tight. Now start to slightly shift your body weight into your left foot and then lift and extend your right leg skyward, coming into 3-legged dog. Point the toes here and square off the hips. Keep pressing firmly into both hands. Now look to the front of your mat and bring the right foot forward between the hands. Keep the left leg lifted. Take a deep inhale and lift your torso upright, hands coming together above your head, index fingers pointing skyward. Tuck your pelvis under. You can stay here or tilt your upper body over to the right for a side body stretch down the left side. Come back to center, release the hands down to the floor, and we'll take a vinyasa. Step the right leg back, coming into a high plank, then lower yourself slowly to the floor. You can come into either cobra or upward dog, and then press back into downward dog. Take a couple of breaths here before we repeat this on the other side. Start by slightly shifting your body weight to the right, and then lift and extend your left leg skyward, 3-legged dog. Square off the hips and spread your fingers wide apart. Look to your hands and step your left foot forward. Inhale and rise up, coming into a high lunge, bringing the arms overhead, hands clasped, index fingers pointing skyward. Tuck your pelvis under, and like before, you can stay here or tilt over to the left now for a side body stretch down the right. Come back to center, release the hands to the floor, and we'll take one more flow, stepping back into high plank, lowering down, cobra or upward dog, and pressing back for our final downward dog. Stay here for 5 more breaths, and hopefully you've noticed an increase in your mobility and flexibility. Look to your hands and now step both feet forward to the top of your mat. Generously bend your knees, coming into a forward fold. You can take hold of the opposite elbow allow your spine to round and just rock side to side here. Come back to center and very slowly roll yourself upright, coming into mountain pose, Tadasana. Crown of head is lifted, palms are shining forward, gaze is straight ahead. Take a deep inhale and raise your hands overhead, palms together, looking up, and exhale. Stay here or take a back bend with me for a final stretch. Come back to center and release your arms down, hands to heart center. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Bowing forward, Namaste.